Imperfectly perfect, imperfectly perfect. Imperfectly perfect, imperfect, imperfectly, imperfectly perfect. Imperfectly perfect couple. Oh yeah.
Welcome back to the Imperfectly Perfect Couple podcast. I'm Kandy.
And I am Tank.
So, Tank, word around the nation is, eggs are sky high. Have you seen it?
Prices have increased.
Yeah.
Have increased.
I was told, or I seen that somebody was unloading, I guess, eggs and putting them on the shelf, and the eggs were marked $9.49.
I haven't seen that.
So it's probably not like your standard white egg, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Probably more so like, your brown eggs or, that type of deal. What do you think about that?
I mean, hey. What can I say? Really, what can I say? These last couple of years, we've been going through some weird and strange things. So, I think it's suitable. I think it's suitable for right now.
I think it's crazy because, our babies love eggs. So, we're constantly egg buying. Mm-hmm. So, it's like we don't really get around it. So,
Hey, I mean, not shocking to me. Right after we are, this will actually be the podcast after all of the holidays and all that stuff. So I say, come on, income taxes. They coming. They rolling in. As Country Wayne say, help is on the way.
Help is on the way.
Help is on the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you
happy
and
New
you
Year
too.
To you all.
We did post our little I guess you could say post New Year's Eve celebration or whatnot. Still been reaching out and touching. That little break felt good, but I say it's up from here. You know what I'm saying? One of my bros actually got us some what would you call these? Merch and things. Got little keychains. Keychains, if you will, that says Imperfectly Imperfect Couple on there.
Got a little tassel on the end. They real cute. A little purple, and he got green. So
yeah, and then we got mugs, official.
Let's lean in a little bit for you.
Kandy and Tank mugs. You know what I'm saying? Got a little something in there.
A little nip.
Trying to, just do it up just a tad bit there. Just a tad bit there. We actually haven't decided if we were going to actually extend to make them available to people, but hey, that's neither here or there. You guys let us know. Let us know.
Would you guys like some merch?
Yeah,
that'd be some good feedback. So, bringing up the whole eggs thing, just wanted to bring it back as far as touching on, responsibilities that y'all may have, financial freedoms and everything. Do you feel that with the expenses and everything going up and everything, do you feel that working into financial freedom, do you feel that it's feasible? Do you feel that the responsibilities are like too much on one person, too much on a two-parent household, or,
I think personally it all depends on your situation. Yeah. Some people may have their situations structured to the point to where everything that they do, it's a tax write-off. Like I seen something today. This could be my online meme thing that caught my attention. You know what I'm saying? And what that was, it was a young lady on the show, and she was pretty much telling people like how, if you have an at-home business, how you can pay your child up to $12,000 for the year. Mm-hmm. Each child can be paid up to $12,000 for the year, and the way how they spend that money or however you do it, that. So basically, your clothes that you buy them for the school year and supplies and so on and so forth, and there are other things. So, not really getting all off into that, but that's one example of how if you have your situation structured, or if you're knowledgeable or of basically what's available to you, then you know what I'm saying, you can structure it different. But a person that don't know, hey, it can be tight. Mm-hmm. It can be tight. It really can be tight. So,
do you feel like Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Do you feel like how you see some of those plans that how they be set up to where it's like, oh, you do $1 the first Friday, then $10 the next Friday, and then like you're adding all the way up, like because basically we're at the top of the year. Mm-hmm. And thinking about like how people may map out their finances for the whole year, because some people do start like right in January 1st, mm-hmm. taking their money and putting it in a nest egg so they can have Christmas and whatever vacations they may want to take. How do you look at that?
I think that that's a beautiful thing. I think this is a beautiful thing if you are really that disciplined to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie. This is most definitely Imperfectly Imperfect Couple podcast, and this past holiday, this was different. If you've been following everything that's been going on with us over the last 2.5, 3 years or whatnot, there were some things that I had to get used to personally, just based upon the way, the way how the line of work that I'm in now versus previous, like the previous years, you know what I'm saying? So money was different. It was very, very different. And ain't that the money wasn't there, it was just that money had to be delegated elsewhere. Mm-hmm. So it was different. What was the question though?
Do you feel that is like that's helpful if you taking the money paycheck by paycheck and putting it in a nest egg?
Yeah, hell, most definitely. Hell yeah, that'd be helpful. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because if we would have did it, that would have been, or if I would have did it on my part, it would have been a lot more smoother. I mean, we still made the holidays, but it was thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, how I'm gonna do this, as people may say, robbing Peter to pay Paul, or doing whatever you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah, I think that that's a beautiful thing if you can do that. If you are disciplined enough, I don't even think it's a thing of being feasible. I think it's just discipline at some point, Yeah, that's a great thing. And I do know. I mean, because before we had children, even before we had our own home, I remember when I was working at another place at one point in time, and this is when I had two good jobs, and it was a thing to where because I wasn't paying out a lot of money, you know what I'm saying, so it was a thing to where one of me and my partners, it was a thing to where it was just like, all right, bet this is what we're gonna do. For this check, we're gonna take out 100 here and put it there, and we was just doing it, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it can be done. It's just that it just require a lot of discipline, I think. Right. What you think?
I think that I'm so caught up sometimes between if I should save or live my best life sometimes. And I'm not even like being funny, but sometimes it's like it's not feasible. It's not there as far as like being able to put the money where you want it to go to be able to save. Sometimes you may actually need that money, that week or whatever, depending on the circumstance. But I think it has a lot to do with discipline. I do agree with you on that. But I think also the reason why I say feasible is because if the money is there for you to do it and you have the extra, why not? Mm-hmm. But sometimes it may be a case of where the extra is not there and you don't have it to put to the side. And it's like, I think how they have it structured to where you take the highest amount at the beginning of the year and then it trickles down.
And it get lower. Yeah.
I think that versus starting the opposite way,
Mm-hmm.
I would more so see myself being able to delegate or manage that, because it's like you getting all of the big stuff out of the way, and then by the time December roll around, it's like $10, $5 for
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I think. So like, what's going on with you? Like, how was your week and everything?
Oh man. Well, I can honestly say it's been adventurous.
Why do you say that?
Did some work. We are in Michigan. Did some work up north. And my partner, we were actually asked to go up north, do some work, which is actually 2 hours away from where we reside now. And just know that when you are somewhere, I'm not going to say don't belong, but when there's not a lot of you out there, you know it. I mean, but overall the work was fine. I mean, we was in the boondocks. I mean, in the what would you call that? I don't
like I say like
it was open lands
up north.
Yeah, we was in open lands, like open
Country.
lands. Yeah, we was out there.
Country miles.
It was cool. You know what I'm saying? I missed you guys after
Oh, did we miss him? Cause
yeah, right.
No, seriously.
I ain't get
like,
it.
Baby K did not sleep. Baby K slept with me the entire time in my bed. And I'm like, she must know her daddy is not here, because it was like, I don't know. I had tricked one of the girls one day and I'm like, Daddy home.
So cruel.
And I'm like, yeah,
so
it was cruel. But I was like, Daddy home, just to get their reaction, because he was only gone a day. And Callie came running out of the room, Daddy! And I'm like, I'm sorry, he not here. She like,
that was just Bo. That was Bo.
But yeah, we really did miss you though.
Oh, that's good.
You're always missed when you're not at home. You don't understand, like
when I'm not at home, but when I'm home.
But when you home, it's where you belong, and so like home is where the heart is. So it's like, even if you in the opposite side of the house or whatever the case, I know you're here.
I'm still here. Okay, so what about you then? How's everything been for you?
Oh, it wasn't a good week.
Oh, because of that?
No, not because of that. We had a family member passed away.
That's right.
So, like, leading up to everything, nerve-wracking, just,
yeah.
So it wasn't really good. I'd say, like, the last 2 weeks were kind of like, just preparing and being of support or whatever the case. But, I love my family and everything, and it was good seeing everybody, not on them circumstances, of course, but, yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So, what else you got? We about to take a break or what?
I think this will probably be suitable going into what the rest of the show will be about.
Oh, yeah.
Being around those family members, I should say, we actually inspired.
Oh, yeah. Of
some
course.
to have babies.
Oh, my God.
the baby, as Kandy's one cousin said, the baby juju was being sprinkled on them. You know what I'm saying?
Kaylani does not like any men's, okay, besides her pop and her daddy, and she's sometime with them both. And my cousin, he's about my age or so. He was playing with her a little bit, like he touched her hand and was like, hey. And then the second time he touched her again, she kind of looked at him. The third time, my sister was actually holding KK, and he looked like, did one of those, like, I'm gonna psych you out type of deal. And she lunged at him. And I mean, stayed with him, I'd say for a good minute. A good hour.
It was a good minute.
Wasn't it?
It was a good minute.
So, yeah. So he looked good holding that baby, too. You know who you are. So, he asked us, like, hey, y'all need a sitter? I'm like, hell yeah, we need a sitter. We always need a babysitter.
Oh, yeah.
We got 4 kids. So
yeah.
We always need a sitter. So, yeah, that was really cool seeing that transpire, whatever. Kaylani was, like, really, in tune with him. And, that's rare that happens, you know what I'm saying? So that was, like, a good little time right there.
So this next segment will be for those that may be thinking about starting a family, too.
Oh, there you go.
All right, we'll be right back. All right. We are back. So, let's get serious. All right, but for real, we are back. So kind of going off of what we were talking about as far as like finances and all this type of stuff. There was a meme that I seen. This was some time back, and that meme pretty much was saying that there are people that believe or under the impression that believe that two-parent households are more I'm not gonna say beneficial, but I'm gonna just say they think that you are more financially stable in those situations. I have my take. I'm quite sure you may have your take on it. And our opinions can be, they don't necessarily have to be, personally what we lived. It could just it can basically be like what we've seen and, people that we may know or just situations that we may know of, you know what I'm saying? So we can speak from that. Personally, me speaking from me, even before I go off into how I was brought up, you know what I'm saying? I'll just say, I think all in all of it it's all subjective, I think it all depends on the individual. Because you can have a single parent household and that household is thriving, because that person know what to do with money or know how to make money. You know what I'm saying? Or know how to invest money or know how to maximize and get the most out of money. So basically they understand money management. You know what I'm saying? And then you have the vice versa, the flip side of it. You can have a two-parent household to where they ain't doing shit with it. You know what I'm saying? It's just going straight to hell. They don't understand any of it. Now, based upon what I've seen coming up, I was raised. I say all of my life. I just put it like that. The years, I ain't gonna say I'm gonna just say the years that counted to where like before I started getting out here on my own, I was raised by all women, and then after that, me and my mom, we wound up getting our own place. I probably say when I was 12, 13, so we're up in there. So that's when me and my mom had our own place. I didn't really want for anything, but I was what I'm saying, I understood, what I'm saying? It's like, for the most part, if I asked for something, I did get it, I think where the one change for me, is when I got to high school. And that's when I started being exposed to, and I'm quite sure, I know I talked about this on here. I started being exposed to like different designer stuff and, wanting more or whatever. And what that did for me, this is me. What that wound up doing for me was that, my mom wound up saying like, hey, hold on. Because at the same time, my mom was getting herself together as far as, going to school, working a full-time job, and managing our apartment we were staying at. She was doing that all herself. Now, like I said, we didn't want for nothing. We didn't get eviction notices. We didn't get put none of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So she did what she had to do. You know what I mean? But I believe by me seeing her, my mom, actually being the type of person that she was, that worked and went out and got things, that made me want a job. You know what I'm saying? And that pushed me to do that. I lied to get my first job. So
allegedly.
Well, it's too late now, but I lied to get my first job. You know what I'm saying? I lied to the point to where that manager, she was like, I have grown people in here coming, you know what I'm saying, that don't come in here and even, basically think about what you thought about to even try to get this job. She was like, I'm going to give you the job just based upon, but if something happened, hey, I don't know nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, so that I would say, based upon what I seen, that pushed me into wanting to do more. So I will say, all in all, it's just subjective. If a two parent house or two parent household is more financially stable than a single parent household. In theory, it should be, but that ain't always the case. What about
Right.
you?
Right. With me, personally, I grew up with both parents in the household. Um, my dad kind of, worked the majority of the time, and my mom kind of picked up a job, kind of like here and there because initially she didn't necessarily have to work, but I guess as time changed and we moved back to Michigan because we were, living in Missouri, it was kind of like, okay, getting out there and getting exposed. And so, you know, trying to get a house and all of that. So it was more so like they're kind of, you know, putting everything together to kind of build moving back here. So I would say, just growing up in the household, you kind of see both parents, working their 9 to 5s and, for the most part, me and my sister, we really didn't want for too much of anything, but we did have, rough times as well, as far as, when it came to money and finances and all of that stuff, which anybody kind of goes through that. But it wasn't always like just dandy just because like mom and dad were there working, so I kind of feel like it is subjective because you can see, I've had other examples around me to where, I've had friends with single parent households and like you said, households booming, thriving, like they really not doing nothing. Well, they're not really missing out on nothing. They kind of got the know-how. They kind of know what to do with the money and where to put it, and they can still vacation and do things that, sometimes that me, growing up, I wasn't exposed to at times. So I just think it's like how you said, it's the know-how and what people were exposed to, how people set their priorities. And yeah, just in awe. So I think it really just depends. Like I don't think there's no right or wrong way. I think a lot of it is like, living and learning through, you know, um, you know, mistakes and, being able to know how to bounce back in a sense. It's like you make a mistake, you learn how to bounce back. You're supposed to learn from it and move forward, Sometimes that happens, sometimes it don't happen. So it just depends on, the household. So that's all that I have to say about it, really.
Okay. What else? I mean, so it's safe to say that it really doesn't matter if it's a single parent household or not. It's really
because I would even say like a lot of people like outside looking in, when they look at a situation to where it's a single parent household, they sometimes look at the situation and be like, well, she's doing it by herself. They must be struggling, or they may look at a 2-parent household and look at them and be like, well, you got 2 incomes coming in. Y'all shouldn't be wanting for nothing over there. And that's not always the case. A 2-parent household can kind of catch it just as much as a 1-parent household. It's just really dependent upon like your views. Like, of course, a woman that may be struggling and going through it, raising her kids by herself, may look at a 2-parent household and may yearn for that. Like, I wish I had the help to kind of help me through this, or to kind of be able to, take some of the slack off of me so I don't have to work 2 jobs, or so I don't have to do the extra, and that's kind of how that is looked at sometimes. And I mean, you think about it too, like sometimes 2-parent households may feel like, maybe I should pick up an extra job, or so we don't have to struggle as much.
But sometimes the extra job is not always the key.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not always the key because sometimes, well, it's just not always the key, And the reason why I say that is because sometimes you could be missing that opportunity for you to get out and do something else, what I'm saying? Or even start your own, if I should say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been hearing this one thing. I don't know where I keep hearing this from. It was somewhere. But I keep hearing this. I done heard this a lot. I don't know if it's a commercial or if it's a song that I've been listening to, but it was saying that, a lot of times we resort back to, like, if it's something that we're trying to do or something that we're trying to accomplish, or if we like feeling stuck in a way, versus us going through it and figuring it out. We have the tendency as humans, we have the tendency of going back to what we know. You know what I'm saying? Versus saying like, you know what, I'm a stick through, I'm gonna go through this, I'm gonna deal with this, but I'm gonna look for a different opportunity. So like, for example, like one of the things I was thinking about doing is trying to see if I can get back in where I was at before. You know what I'm saying? I know I can do it. I know I was a good worker. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but it's like, why go back to that safe haven? No, stick to whatever your plans were to get up out of it. And then you look up and you may not even necessarily need to do that because now you've created your own stream of income. You see what I'm saying? Versus like, well, I know I can go back to doing hair or yeah, you going to like a safe place. And a lot of times going to get another, now I ain't saying don't go get a job. I'm not saying that. But if your plans is to start your own business, go through with that. You know what I'm saying? Go through with whatever that may be, you know. So that's why I say sometimes, you know, maybe a second job is not always the key because and then a lot of times too, you need to like think things out. That's true. A lot of times people are not thinkers, you know what I'm saying? People may lack the skill of critically thinking, you know what I'm saying? And there's various reasons why I believe, you know, just all in all, I think that with our busy lives, you know, how busy things are, you know, just how busy, I just keep it there. Just how busy things are, you know, a lot of times you don't have that self time to where it's like, you know what, this is what I should do. Thinking things out, you know what I'm saying? But it is crazy because you have to be skilled enough to the point to where to be able to think, critically think. I don't want to use the word fast enough, but that's the only word that can come to mind.
Swiftly.
Yeah, you have to be able to critically think swiftly or promptly. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't take too long, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times taking too long, you can miss an opportunity, you know, and that's what you don't want. You don't want to miss opportunities because it's taking you, you know, 3 months to make one decision. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, make that decision, keep it moving, learn from it, and go from there, you know. So that's just me, you know, with it. So me personally, like I said, I don't personally believe that a single household is less fortunate than financially fortunate than a 2-parent household, because that ain't always the case. It's not, they don't necessarily, you know, guarantee that it's going to be stability there. You know, that's just like people believe in this one realm, but this will be a whole nother podcast. Just like how you have people that believe that just because you're married, your situation or union is better than anybody else's. Get the fuck on with that shit there. I'm serious. I mean, it is. I mean, get on with that. That's not going to stop nobody from doing what they're doing. No,
you just gonna make him get a job.
It ain't even him. Her too.
It ain't gonna make her get a job. It ain't gonna make her cook, especially if she wasn't cooking beforehand. It ain't gonna make, what else? Ain't gonna make nobody have no kids faster if that's what you expecting.
Nothing.
So
absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? If anything, you gonna have all of that, but just a married fucking bum. That's it.
You gotta have that drive.
Right. If you don't see that shit, you know, and that was one of the things that, you know, that I've seen. You know, it's like, why does it take for, and see, I know I shouldn't have said it, but why do people believe it takes for you to be married in order to see who you are? You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you live in a facade. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, like, if I'm a type of person that likes to take care of home, I'm not going to hold back. If I'm the type of person that like to, you know, be handy and all of this, just because when I get married, you know what I'm saying, that don't mean that I'm going to do it more. Like, to me, it just seemed like a facade, man, you know, so I don't know. But that's a whole nother podcast. We'll talk, maybe we may bring that up.
Yeah, so, you know, what you think about our dynamic and how everything is set up, like, when it comes to...
Why you had your lip curled up?
That's all. Because I'm being silly. So, like, when it comes to, like, our dynamic, we're a two-parent household. We're not married, but, we're doing what we have to do to make things happen for us and our children. So, I know a lot of people may look and perceive us as a certain way or be feeling like, well, hey, they got it over there because it's two of them. So, how do you feel about all of that?
What was the last part you said?
They got it over here. It's two of them.
What people say that you said?
Yeah, I mean, people on the outside looking in may just look and just automatically assume, like, because it's two of them, we have the financial freedom to dish money here if people ask, or to put money here if we need to put money there, and all of that stuff. So,
the one thing I can honestly say, and I'm not saying this not because I'm not saying this because you asked this question, but I've said this, to my bros or whatnot. If this ever came up, the one thing I can honestly say, like the way how, and I know I've mentioned this to you, the way how in my eyes, the way how our dynamic is set up, is to the point to where it's like, it's no question we taking care of home. Mm-hmm. It's no question. I mean, it's like it's a thing to where you got your stuff that you normally pay for. I got my stuff that I pay for, and it's like, okay, if you short on this or if you ain't got whatever, it's like, all right, bet we gonna figure out what it is and we gonna make that happen. And that has not been like, that's not an argument. You know what I'm saying? It's just, to me, it's stupid. It's like, if you know that it need to be taken care of, let's get it fucking done. You know what I'm saying? So I can honestly say that that's a blessing, because a lot of people don't even know what that feel like. You know what I'm saying? So,
and it's like not even that, but it's the bulk of the stuff is yours. You know what I'm saying? Like the majority of the weight is on you in a sense. Because like where I pick up at is like the smaller things. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff the kids may want, or you know what I'm saying, just whatever. But
all in all, but the way how I look at it, the way how, I mean, but see, that's the difference when you're moving as a unit. You know what I'm saying? When you're moving as a unit, you don't look at, you need all of these pieces. You know what I'm saying? In order to move a unit, if you're talking about like a unit, like a army or whatever the case, there's no piece is bigger than the other. You know what I'm saying? Every piece plays a vital part, you know what I'm saying, in making that unit go, so is not a thing of, I mean, something may be, I may pay something that's way more, but so what? It's still needed, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
but people make a big deal out of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like who's paying what?
Yeah.
And how much? If
yeah.
We ain't really no couple if we splitting stuff down the middle, or we ain't really know this.
Man.
And I just feel like when it comes down to that, it's dependent upon how your dynamic is set up. If you living in a household with this person and you guys decide on 50-50 split down the middle, that's your dynamic. That's what you choose to do. I feel like in the times that we're living in, with financial literacy being sometimes illiterate when it comes to a lot of stuff, sometimes you may have to, split stuff down the middle if it's a thing to where you're looking to make your household work, or you looking to make your household flourish. Sometimes you have to put people at a 50% to make them push harder sometimes, because for sure you got to come up with this, and if you don't, whatever the case. So sometimes you have to hold one side a little bit more responsible than the other side, or have to split it or divvy it however much, because
it's accountability.
Yeah, because you might have a side that might blow money and just do whatever they want to do with it and not take responsibility for the house. But like when it comes to us, like Tank said, like we do everything to where it's like whatever the house needs, including the people.
The house wins, man.
The house wins over everything.
Yep, the house wins.
So it's like we don't care if it's our last. If it's something that our kids need, we gonna get whatever it is that our kids need. Yep. So that's just like, it's no question about it. We don't put up a fight. We don't argue about it. Mm-hmm. It may get frustrating. We ain't gonna sit up there and lie and say that we don't get frustrated sometimes about things that go on and finances and all of that.
Right.
But I mean, that's life. a person that's doing it on their own get frustrated, just like how a unit may get frustrated. So
Right, right. I mean, and then I think another part of that question that you asked, to where it was like, for you said something about what for those people that's looking and thinking that,
on the outside looking in, thinking because it's two people in the household
yeah, yeah,
that the money is there. Oh, let
no,
me ask.
it's wrong for people to assume that just because you don't hear people complaining or whatever, that they just automatically have it. So overall, I do believe that that is wrong. You shouldn't assume, as they say, check on your what they say, check on your friends, or check on
Yeah,
your people who don't complain
yeah,
or whatnot.
and
You know
just
what I'm saying?
ask how you doing. What's
Yeah.
going on? Do you need anything? Do you need any help? Because I don't think we all ask that enough of each other.
No, we don't. We don't. Okay, so what I have, you know, to help either situation, whether it being a single parent household or a union. You know what I'm saying? Um, let's give some tips, some money tips.
Okay.
One of the things that they suggest is making a personal budget. I don't think we ever made a personal budget,
Oh, no, we have not.
but making a personal budget is number
What
one.
that look like?
What, making a personal budget? I have no clue.
Okay.
But that is one thing that they suggest that we should do. The other thing, after you make your personal budget, they say that it is a good thing to keep track of your spending. I think that for the most part, the way how we normally do it, and probably most of you all too, when things start to get tight, then we start to go back and say, well, dang, I shouldn't have bought those extra this and that and should have stayed home. I think that that's when we start keeping track of it, but they say you should do it all the time.
Oh, yeah. Try to stay as frugal
Yeah, yeah.
as possible.
And then something that I know that you and I talk about, and that I just spoke on this when your sister was here, which is having or trying to look into or start a retirement fund.
Oh, yeah.
Saving for retirement. I got my personal beliefs on that, but I'm gonna keep them personal. I'm just gonna leave them right there. I'm doing my part, to the best of my ability, but I still have my part, personal beliefs.
Your part on your personal beliefs.
Yeah. Number four would be save for emergency. So having an emergency fund. What?
That's a lot of saving, and you be wanting
Yeah.
YOLO.
Yeah, nope. They want you to, remember interest rates and all that stuff, and putting money into accounts, and
This is all financial literacy.
this is just a quick rundown of what financial literacy and what they say you should do. This is what they recommend.
This is what makes us imperfectly perfect.
Yeah.
Because some of this stuff, like, we save when we know we have to save, and then we spend when we know we have to spend. So,
But we all should be doing this, though.
yeah, everybody.
All in all. Number 5 would be you should plan to pay off debt. And that is, you should plan to pay off debt. You should pay off the debt. Don't just throw it out just because, you can and you're going to file bankruptcy or whatever you're going to do. No, don't do that. Don't put it in your kids' name. Don't do that.
Don't
That's
do that.
bold. That's bold.
I'm putting Sears cards in the kids' names. We
Like-
just watching that.
All right, because you're going out of town and you want to look good and fly.
For your family. But that was on the show.
And then your significant other see it when that bill come in, and now it's a problem. You done bought some stuff so your people can see you looking fly. You think you're looking fly. But you want to look good for your man, though. Don't do that. Don't do that. They also recommend establishing a good credit history habit. You know what I'm saying? So that all falls in line with, paying off debt. If you're paying off debt the way you're supposed to and using the correct numbers and the percentages on what you're supposed to use, you would already be establishing, good spending, credit habits, and all of that. Last but not least, improve your money mindset. And that goes back to what we were saying, is all subjective. If you have an idea, even if you're not following all of these, if you look at money a certain way, or even if you were just shown, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not necessarily no one rule in when it comes into making money, you know what I'm saying, or how to manage. It's not just one rule, you know what I'm saying? Once you just understand how it works, you know, you can make it do what it do, you know. So I just kind of felt as if that was kind of needed, you know, based upon the topic from there. So you got anything? Are you about to wrap this up or what?
I'm about to wrap that up because mine goes a little bit deeper than that, and it's too deep.
All right. Well,
so basically, with everything with financial responsibilities and financial literacy, and whether if it takes one particular household that may outweigh another household, what we find, it's all subjective. So don't never assume that just because you see a one-parent household booming, that you see a two-parent household booming, or that one or the other is struggling. Just don't assume that people have it just because of you watching from the outside. It's not always the case. You don't know how people get their money. You don't know how people move their money. You don't know what sacrifices people are making. So just stop assuming.
Or what bills they not paying, or what box they, or just how they living.
There you go.
You just don't know that.
You just don't know.
Yeah.
So it's best to kind of, you know, just research, even get with a financial advisor if you can, you know, if you find that to be a route that you would want to take. Credit repair, if you feel that you need to take advantage of that, it's always good to consult with different people just to see what can make money work better for you and others. So I think that's really all that I have to have or say for everything. So that's it.
That's it?
That's all I got. And mind your business. Mind your business. Stay out of other people's business. Y'all know who y'all are.
All right. All right, then. So until next time.
No.
Hey.
Imperfectly perfect. Imperfectly perfect. Imperfectly perfect. Imperfectly